All right. Welcome to the show, Yuki.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I definitely wanted you on for season one of my show because I think you have like a very interesting story, career path, and you're also one of like my favorite dancers. Really talented. I'm sure people will check out in the links and like videos and whatnot if you check out Yuki's Instagram. She's an amazing dancer and she teaches. But she does a lot more than that. So I'll go into like how we know each other. So I believe we met in 2022, right? For K Factor.
I guess,
Yeah,
yes.
we were both like in
Yes,
Untitled, which is a dance project
right.
team, cover team in SoCal.
Hmm.
And we were the first people at practice. I remember because
Yes,
like, okay,
yes.
there's this girl standing outside the studio. We're either early or on time.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hi, I'm JR." And then we met, and then we danced. And then I found out later on that you were also on Cabo Modern, which
Hmm.
was the team I was on in college. So we danced same team, but different times. And then I knew that I noticed that you weren't just a K-pop dancer. I think most people in the K-pop community, like mostly they start from K-pop, right?
That's
But
right.
you
Yeah.
have other dance
I
background.
had a lot of like dance background.
Mhm.
I started dancing when I was 3 years 3 years
3 years
old.
old, yeah.
Yes. I started with ballet, and then after that did it like for 9 years,
Mm.
pretty long, but I guess it was not for me. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna change it, and then I changed it to hip hop, and after the jazz, modern, and then house, rock,
Mhm.
I did kind of
Everything, see
everything.
everything.
And then I'm into like Vogue and then walking now,
Mhm.
and also K-pop. So I really love dancing, moving my body,
Mhm.
and yeah, I think it's just I don't know. I just like to move a lot, but not practicing a lot.
Yeah. Moving, not practicing. Yeah, I don't know, like, you don't know this, but our audience knows this, that all of my season 1 guests are people who I've either danced with, know
Mhm.
through dancing, or are my students, so, like, dancers, but we're
Right.
all talking about different topics, obviously. And then Yuki is one of my favorite dancers because, as you can tell, she's very, like, versed in a lot of different things, and you can kinda tell when she dances. So more into your background. So aside from what you've listed, I know that you've worked different jobs, but then I remember when we first met, you were like, "Oh, I'm like a model or like actress
Right.
and stuff," and I was like, "I thought that was interesting." And then you're from Japan,
Yes.
so if you don't know, if you're just listening to this, you probably can't tell. If you're watching this,
Maybe,
maybe you
yeah.
can guess. And then you also are a yoga instructor, right?
Yes.
And then now we dance on the same project team K and
Mhm.
D, and so we'll see each other often, or like for different projects, things like that. So yeah, so I know you've done a lot of things. Anything else you want to add into that?
Everything you said is right. Sounds
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
nice. We'll get into like specific jobs like in a bit,
Yeah.
but so I wanted to start with your origin story, right?
Mhm.
So I know that you were born and raised in Japan.
Yes.
So like, could you walk us through like where you grew up, what was it like, and then kind of walk us through like
Mhm.
how you came over here?
Okay. I was born in like Osaka, if you know,
Mm.
right? West side. I
West
really,
Side.
yeah, West side. I really love there. I went to I was living there until graduate high school. So until then, I was like thinking like, oh, maybe I would just live in Japan forever. I just want to like dance, maybe act, and I really love being on stage. So I was just doing that whole my life. But my sister and also she's also a dancer.
Mhm.
I have a wanted to go to.
Sake. Her name is infamous in our
Yes.
friend group.
But wanted to go to America. And then the timing was perfect because my dad also was offered to come to US.
Mm.
So they decided to come to America. But I didn't want to.
Mm.
I feel
So,
like.
like, when you graduated high school,
Mhm.
and then so, like, you weren't going to college or anything, but you were kind of figuring out what you wanted to do, or
Yeah, like I decided to come to US while high school. I'm in the high school.
oh, okay,
Yeah. They went to America when I was in high school, like
oh, okay,
the second year or something.
okay. They
But
meaning like your
yes,
parents or your dad or your
my
sister?
parents, my sister and dad
Mm,
first,
okay.
and after that they went. Like
Mm,
everyone went to America, but I just didn't want to go,
mm,
and I wanted to wait for graduating high school because I love Japan.
yeah.
I wanted to learn at the time, but we have to decide like which college you're going, which university you're going. But I didn't have anything. Like I could have just studied and then stay in Japan, but I wanted to do something different. Like I wanted to challenge for myself and then like dancing, and I really love musical theater. So that's why I was like, okay, maybe I should go to America because they're there. And then I came here.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay. So, like in terms of school, so
Hmm.
you like theater and things like that.
Hmm.
Um, so then when you decided to come over, what
Hmm.
was the plan at that point?
At that point, I was going to take the musical theater major,
Mm.
because I was like, I really love to dance, I really love to sing, and then I actually was in drama major in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it kind of makes sense. I wanted to try something like new,
Mm.
and yeah, that's what was thinking. Came to I don't know how to say. Um, but yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what to say.
So also you're the oldest of three, right? So you have your
Yes,
younger sister and then your
and
younger
brother.
brother.
Yes.
What is that dynamic like? I also have an older sister
Uh huh.
and two younger brothers actually. So I can imagine like, oh, well, I mean I know you and I know Saki.
Yes.
So I'm curious, like, what is your dynamic your sibling dynamic like?
Like you mean like how we are different, or like how we are.
So okay, I'm basing this question off of stories that I heard from Saki. It's
Uh huh.
like, yeah, Yuki will just like tell us what to do, and
Uh
then
huh.
we'll just do it because she's like,
Bossy.
yeah, I don't want to say it. But I was also thinking full of herself. No, I don't know. That's what she said. Um,
Yeah, I was like that. Yeah,
yeah,
I think I was like the one who
you're like
wanted
the
to do
actress, the
something.
star.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I want to do this and let's do it. But
Mm,
now I think it's kind of shifting
yeah.
to Saki.
Mm,
She is the one who says like, let's do it. And then
mm,
she's the one like who just, say everything
yeah.
to me and my brother. But I think at the time I guess I was telling, I don't know, because I feel like I didn't, I was really close with them,
Mhm.
like brother and sister, as a friend. I feel like, but I really didn't do anything like as a sister. I don't think I was like acting like, oh, I'm your sister
Oh,
or something.
like nurturing sort of, but more
Yeah,
just like friends.
yeah, more like friends. I
Mm,
feel like, because I feel like I don't know. I I don't know.
yeah.
I feel like we're just like friends, or like
Mm.
we're just like really having fun. I really love to talk with them, so I think at the moment I feel like I was thinking like they were best friend or something.
Oh, I
Yeah, yeah,
see.
yeah.
So yeah, I haven't met your brother, but I know like
Uh-huh.
obviously I know Saki. So the vibe I get is like you're
Mhm.
kind of like the older sister slash like the star, and then like they kind of follow you, and then Saki is this ball of energy
Uh-huh.
who's like super loud and also like a lot of
Mhm.
fun, but also I'm sure she looks up to you in some sense. But then I think she might get some of those qualities from you, or maybe it's like
I
a
hope so.
family thing where it's like you guys are both kind of stars, like you guys both do
Mhm.
dancing
Right.
and like Saki does or some modeling or has done like some
Yes,
modeling
yeah.
stuff.
Saki does a modeling too.
Yeah, so I feel like it almost feels like a thing in your family where you guys are like that, or at least you
Right.
two. But um, I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that's true. I think
S-
she's following me.
Right,
Like.
exactly. Yeah. So then after you moved here, so then what was so you were a drama major,
Mhm.
and then so like what happened after that, and what school were you at?
Um, what do you mean, like after graduate high school?
Oh yeah, after high school. Yeah, so you came
Oh,
here
okay.
for
Well,
college.
after I came here, I took the musical theater major, right,
Mm,
at the community college,
mm,
and I immediately went to the audition, the tryout for the musical theater
okay,
show. Yeah, because I was like, okay, I can make it, and I did it, which yeah.
nice.
But at the time, I didn't actually learn English properly. I mean, I did actually, I did learn properly, but and we have a English class in Japan, like at school, like 6 years.
Mm,
Like I learned the grammar, everything.
like during high school,
Yes,
you
during
took
high
it actually.
school, everything, but I hated it. English class was the like worst
Yeah.
class for me, and I didn't do anything until I come here.
Mm,
I mean, I learned a little bit. I prepared, but at the time I couldn't even like listen. I mean, I could hear it, I could understand it,
mhm.
but I couldn't talk.
Speaking was more
Yeah,
difficult?
so it was really hard because especially being in the musical theater, we have to sing, we have to say a line.
That
But
makes sense.
yeah, I was kind of, you know, doing different things. But yeah, my goal was like to be able to have a conversation in English and also learn like a dance skill and singing skill, like in the musical theater. That
Mm.
was the goal.
So how did you so you could understand English, but
Hmm.
you couldn't really speak
Hmm.
or and even just talking.
Hmm.
So then how did you what was the process of like overcoming that so that you can be more comfortable on stage? Like what
Um,
did you do?
I was recording my classes, like rehearsals,
Oh.
like voice wise.
Mm.
Um, and whenever I go to class or maybe hang out, I always like record. I sometimes never listen to it because it's like hours, but sometimes I go back and then listen to it and kind of manipulate, no, mimic people,
Oh, okay. So like
like how
listen
they're
to the
talking.
talking, like the
Uh,
conversations and trying to copy that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So like I try to go to like parties or like trying to go to like hang out because they were like, you do you wanna go? And I'd be like, yeah. And every time I go there, I won't be like talking that much. I'd be
Mm.
like, yeah, yeah, you know what I mean? But I try to listen more than like speaking. And I practice at home. And then being on stage, like I didn't talk that much because like I was ensemble. So, but singing is different. So I just had to listen a lot, the same as like the talking. I had to listen the song and then I sing along with the song and then record myself if the accent was accurate
Oh, I
or
see.
something like that. And I tried practice and yeah, I think I was not that nervous on being on stage, so I just had kind of have to like practice.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was kind of like trying to speak like the
Mm.
tone and accent of like English,
Mhm.
but you already had an understanding of like understanding what English is and like kind of
Mm.
to say the words, but it was just like
Yeah.
practicing it and like doing it.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um
I always recorded myself.
yeah.
My talking, my like lines, like the speaking voice and singing as
Mm.
well.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's like I can sing in Japanese. Obviously I don't speak Japanese, but because I just listen to songs like we
Right.
went to karaoke before, right?
Right.
I'll sing TVXQ or
Uh-huh.
Toshi
Yeah.
songs Japanese, and I'm like I think my accent is fine because
Yeah.
I just sing it just like it sounds,
Right,
but I'm like
right.
I don't know what it's saying, but it
Yeah.
sounds great.
I mean, yeah, you have to kind of
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
like what they're saying, right? Like when it comes to acting.
Hmm, hmm.
And I was like that too. Like I was like just kind of remember everything, but then also I don't know, like musical theater, there's like a choreo and it's like same thing as choreo. Like I had to like break it down the words and we have to sing together.
Right.
So it has, you know,
Yeah, so it's a more
yeah.
dynamic than just like talking or something like
Yeah.
that. So I want to go back to like, so you moved to the US and you're learning English or you're learning how
Mhm.
to speak it. What is, oh yeah, and I think you know this, but so I went to Japan recently just for a
Mhm.
vacation and it was great. Yeah, and it was super
Yay.
fun. I highly recommend it. It was my third time there. So the people I was with, they're
Mhm.
like, oh, what are you going to do? I'm like, well, I did a lot of stuff that I wanted to
Mhm.
before. So this time I'm just going to chill and like follow everyone. So it was super fun.
Uh-huh.
Oh, actually, I got this shirt too.
Oh, the
Yeah,
One Piece one, right?
yeah,
I should have
Ace.
wore it today.
Yeah.
I know. I was
I've been
like
trying to wear as
thinking.
many One Piece shirts as I can for today's recording. So if any One Piece
Oh
fans, check
my
out these
god, I
videos.
should have. You should have
Yeah.
told me.
Yeah, it's okay. Next time. So yeah, anyways, so culture shock. I wanted to ask like what was it like moving from obviously
Mhm.
Japan your whole life and then moving to the US? Obviously the cultures are very different.
Right.
But I'm sure that you were like exposed to American like media. That's what a lot of people when they come
Mm.
to US, it's like, oh, I've seen movies or TV shows.
Right.
But how was it like moving over? Like what was that transition?
I actually cannot think of like examples
Mhm.
right now because I'm kind of Americanized
Yeah,
already.
she's an
Watch,
American girl.
but
Cali girl, guys.
but I had a lot of like culture shock.
Mm.
Really, like even just like a supermarket because I also was cashier in Japan. Oh, actually, but you You shouldn't work as a high schooler.
As a
In
cashier?
my like school, yeah,
Oh,
in
you're
my
not
school, like
supposed to work.
you're not supposed to
Oh,
work,
I
yeah.
see, I see.
But yeah, I did,
She
and
broke the rules. She's a rebel.
a little bit, like after before graduating.
Ah,
But I was doing a Japanese supermarket blah,
supermarket?
supermarket
Yeah.
cashier. Um, I do it like really quick, so it's like really fast and like really neat, and then that's how it works in Japan. Like if you know,
Mhm.
I don't know if you recognize, but people are really quick and then really like like nice. But in America, it was really slow, and I had to wait in a line. There's so many people there, but then like one like cashier's open,
Yeah.
and then I was like, like what's going on? Like I was like, I couldn't like really like wait
Mm.
the long like for like a caching. I was like, what are they doing?
Like, why is it taking so
Yeah, I
long?
was like, it was like really, really culture shock
Mm.
for me. But now I get it, and also like,
You're used to
yeah,
it?
I'm kind of used to it, and I feel like it's cool that you don't need to like rush it.
Ah,
So I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, yeah, but it was like kind of huge thing, and that was really, really like a culture shock. The
Mhm.
like in real life, everything was different.
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
know, like, as an American going to Japan, you notice that, like, the way everything operates is
Mm.
a lot faster, more efficient, and it makes a lot of sense, obviously. You're
Yeah.
like, wow, this is cool. I remember going from Japan and then the subways, and it's
Hmm.
efficient and it's fast, and you can get swept away.
Right.
Then I go to Korea, and it's like definitely not as efficient. And I was like, ah, and then you go to the US, I'm like, wow, everything is, like you said,
Everything
very
is so.
slow, very inefficient, not organized. Even like Tokyo Disney Sea,
Oh
so
yeah.
organized compared to like Disneyland here.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, it was like night and day. So if you like convenience and efficiency, you'll love it over there. And
Yeah,
then
for sure.
there's a lot of, I don't know, there's just a lot of things that
Uh-huh.
it's like you're like, wow, someone thought of this and it makes sense. Why don't we do
Right,
this?
right. It's
So
so good.
I imagine coming here and you're like, why do people do this? We're going backwards here.
That's so true. But also, like, I understand.
Yeah, yeah.
People
You're
want to
like, I
have
get
like
it.
their time,
Mhm.
but also, I love the Japanese style too. But yeah, I'm okay with it now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
I
used
feel
to it. You're
like
a Cali
yeah.
girl now.
Mhm.
Cool. So let's pivot to so you moved to US and then like
Mhm.
you're learning English and then culture shock. So then you
Yes.
mentioned that you've had various jobs over the years. I was
Yes.
curious if you had any came to mind that were like the most interesting or some that you learned the most, like you gained a lot of experience from that people can learn
Ah.
from.
I actually, I really love performing,
Mhm.
and I did like I don't know, like some interesting work,
Like a performance work.
performance
Mhm.
work. Oh, okay, yeah. I One thing I really liked about being in like performer as the Insomniac the
Oh,
company,
Insomniac.
yeah,
Hmm.
the EDC everything. They were like, okay, don't post like I don't know if I can say it, but yeah, you shouldn't post like anything like back, like what's it called? You shouldn't post that process
Oh,
of
okay.
being character.
Oh,
So you
like
cannot post like
um,
with the like wigs off,
yeah,
or
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
just like a one parts came off, or
Oh,
maybe
I
just
see.
what I mean. Like you cannot post the background of like the process.
Mhm.
And I actually and every the Insomniac entertainers. The boss, she is really good. She said that um, don't break the character because that means you're gonna break someone's dream.
Mm.
So I was like, listen to it, and I'm like, yeah, that's so true, because you don't want to break someone's dream for sure. And then
Like the
I'm
illusion of what the
yeah, yeah,
character is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's really tough work actually being in character because we have to walk around like hours in a heels, like high heels, and you have to still like be in like
Yeah,
character,
yeah.
and then like walking a lot, dancing, and it's really fun but also tough.
Right.
But sometimes you want to be like
Hmm.
I'm so tired. You
Right.
want to be
Just
like that,
relax and break
just
character.
yeah. But if you do that, then be like, oh, I don't know, like I don't want to break that. And
Right.
then that was kind of interesting work, and then also I really loved it because I feel like people forget that you are making someone's moment, you're making someone's dream. You don't know, you never know like who is like, I don't know, you never know who is your follower.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Who's like watching you or looking
yeah,
at
yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So I really like that words made me think like, oh yeah, I shouldn't be like doing whatever I want. I should be thinking of what people thinking or
Your
what people
audience.
are
Yeah.
like, expecting or
Yeah, like
something.
their experience. So
Yeah.
it's not about you, but it's about performing for the experience of
Uh-huh.
others.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So that was kind of good experience
Mhm.
for me. Yes.
Do you think that translates into like how you dance too and like how you do other things?
Uh-huh.
It's like not just like yourself, but also
Hmm.
like what is the experience I'm creating as a performer, as a whatever I'm doing?
Wait, I didn't get the question. So I was
Yeah.
like thinking about
So
it.
like so you said it was like a very
Uh-huh.
good experience and you learned
Yes.
that it's like you don't want to break someone's dream or
Right.
like that experience.
Right. Right. Right.
Do you think you like take that into like everything else that you do?
Yeah, I think so. I really want to do like something people likes. I mean, so of course I want to do something I like too, but also I don't want to just be like, "Oh, I want to do this, so I don't want to do this for you" or something, you know? I want to create something for people. I want to create like I want to help people also, like I want to create something people wanting from me.
Yeah.
So, I think that words made me think like something people forget.
Mm.
So I feel like I want to, you know,
Yeah, I
yeah,
like that because
use
like
that.
art that performers is like artists.
Hmm.
We're creating something, and it
Hmm.
could inspire someone, and
Right.
it could be just for you, but
Hmm.
also typically art is shared with other people.
Right.
So we have to consider how it's being received,
Right.
and then
Hmm.
also putting our best into it, like you're
Hmm.
saying. It's more than just like okay, I'm just doing this thing, but it's
Right.
more than that.
Yeah.
Um, any other like
Hmm.
jobs or like experiences that you feel like really shaped you or that you learned a lot from?
It's not a work.
Mhm.
When I was middle school is like a sixth, uh, seven, eight, nine, sixth grade, middle
Yeah,
school,
something like that. Yeah,
right? Right.
it changes sometimes.
Okay. Okay.
6, 7, 7, 8, 6,
Okay,
7,
okay.
9.
It's
Yeah,
like middle school,
it's
right?
middle school.
Okay,
Yeah,
just making sure.
yeah.
Uh, when I was middle school, I was in a like dance musical like class in Japan, and there was showcase every year, like every winter. They do like a musical, like a type of show with dance, like hip hop dance, but no singing though. But instead of singing, they do like a dance, like a song, and then they had a showcase every year. Um, I was, I tried out and I auditioned, and I made it, and it was good, and I was actually chosen to be a lead. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna, do my best. And I was like working hard, and then going to practice rehearsals. And then at the time, I lived far from the dance studio, so I had to like leave early the school club every day, and then go to the studio like for like hour to go there. And I was practicing, but a month before the show happening, they decided to drop me off
Oh man,
as a like a supporting role,
right.
and I was like, oh, what was the reason? Like, the I don't know. I was like, what was the reason?
Yeah,
And then also I was like middle school. I was like, like
devastated.
oh my god, why? Yeah.
Rejected, rejected.
Yeah,
That's
and
tough.
then they told me that like, you were like yawning and at the practice, and then it was like a not big studio, but then like you had to be like a little bit like side way
Uh,
because when you were off stage, you don't want to be shown, right? Or you don't want to be seen. So I was kind of trying to be like really like skinny, like be like this, but then some people thought like I'm like leaning to the wall or like
oh,
putting on that like table to be
yeah,
like this.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they didn't like my attitude with
Oh, I
that.
see.
And they also like um they said that like they are taking money too, so like you have to be more like
Like professional. Yeah.
professional of like acting. Maybe I was bad actor. I'm not sure, but
Maybe I was terrible.
maybe yeah, maybe. But then like I was,
Yeah.
one time they chose me as the
Right.
lead, so I was
You're at least
like
good
thinking
enough
about
to
it.
get chosen.
Yeah, so that's why I was like thinking that actually made me really sad. That's why like I feel like I'm still doing dance because I was like at the time I was thinking like, oh, I work so hard, but I don't know why they made it like this. And then, but I mean I did it. I did like learn new parts, everything, and I redo everything, and I tried, and then the show was really great, but that makes me think like, oh, I have to work more, work hard more than I think. I
Mm.
feel like because like people sometimes cannot see what I'm doing, or maybe like I work hard, but then I'm doing something wrong, So like I that experience made me think like, oh, I have to sometime like think what I'm doing, if it's right or not, or like I have to kind of step back to see like what I'm doing. That's what I learned, one thing. And also, um, one thing I learned was like, if you want to be, I don't know, if you want to be like actually like, I don't know how to say it. You have to have a like power and also like skills
Mm.
and an attitude to be really like in a good position. I don't know how to say it. If you want to be chosen by some people, I don't know
Okay.
how to say it.
Power,
Um,
attitude, skill. It'd just be amazing.
yeah, basically, yeah, you have to be perfect.
Right.
I mean, you don't have to be,
Right.
but
You have
if
to
you
stand
were,
out somehow.
yeah, if you want to if you want to accomplish something, um, sometimes you really have to be really picky, and then you have to really like dedicate your work, and you cannot be like, "Oh, I'm working hard, so I'm good." You cannot
Like
be
not
like
be
that.
complacent, but
Mhm.
always like have high standards and
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
do everything with excellence.
Right, right. So that's what I learned from the experience. So I was
Mm.
like, yeah,
So since middle school, you're like never
yeah,
again. I'm
yeah. I was
gonna
like, yeah, never
high
again. Yeah,
standards.
I was like, no.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So that was really bad and good experience from my life. The anger was kind of made me motivated. Like
Uh,
the anger
yeah, yeah,
motivated me
yeah.
um, to be like perfect or maybe like a good performer. So I feel like that's why I still like doing this. But I mean, I'm not mad at it anymore. I'm like
You're
not
like
like
I'm over
yeah,
it. Yeah, long
I'm
time
over it,
ago.
yeah, for sure. Like I think of that. I feel like when I think of because I um because I was thinking about the topic we were talking about, and then that topic came up really quick. The experience, and when I look back, I felt a little bit different way because I was like, oh, maybe that's why I'm still doing this, or like maybe I was like too like bossy at the time, or maybe I don't know. I actually don't know because I feel like I haven't changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I think about that experience, I feel like yeah, I have to be more in taking care about myself,
Yeah.
skill wise, attitude wise.
Right. So
Yeah.
it was definitely like a turning point, like a
Yes, I think so.
changing
I
point
think
for
so.
you. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Um, let's see. I wanted to ask, so you talked about the leading role in the dancing thing.
Hmm.
There's a prompt that you put into the form, which was like
Hmm.
separating work and private
Yes.
mode
Oh yeah.
when you have something to do with good friends or bad friends. So like, I don't know if you want to
Oh
clarify what
yeah,
that means.
sure. Okay, so I think it's really hard to work with friends.
Mm.
Like as a candy,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we sometimes fight.
yeah,
Not fight,
yeah,
but
yeah,
then
yeah.
like
But
we,
like normal
you know,
friends do, like they have disagreements.
right. We talk a lot, right? We discuss what needs to be done, right? Some people can't do that, like separate things. Uh, I feel like I learned this one from like high school experience, but you have to um I'm just kind of talking about work side.
Mhm.
But if you want to work with your friends, you cannot be thinking like, um, oh, she's talking about me like in like personal.
Mm.
Like I don't know. Like if I say something like, oh, blah 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 blah. Like maybe like if I talk about you like badly or like
Or like some sort of
yeah, some like
feedback or
yeah
something,
feedback or
not taking
something.
it personally like,
Yeah,
oh,
if
she
I
hates me just because
right
she's
right
giving me
right.
feedback.
Yeah, so like I don't want to be like that, right? Like you don't want to break a friendship, and you don't, but also also you don't want to break friendship, but also you want to work with them, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's really really n- important to separate like the feeling or maybe the way you were talking, because sometimes people get really confused
Right.
and they take it to like the point being like, oh
Where it affects the relationship.
yeah,
Because it's like there's a professional mode that we're
uh-huh,
like coworkers in a sense.
yeah,
And then some people might make that like to like, oh,
yeah,
we're friends. And if you say
mm-hmm.
something negative to me now, like you don't like me,
Yeah
now
yeah yeah yeah
we don't like each other.
right.
But it's just like it's just a work thing
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
professional.
So like, if you are working together, the goal is like to make a project looking good,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And not not being a friend at that time. So I think it's really important to like separate those stuff. And then I think I think I meant even though you don't like the person, sometimes you have to work with them,
Okay.
right?
That makes sense.
So also I don't want to be thinking like, oh, I don't like this person, so I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything for them. Or I don't want to be like that. So even though if there's some parts that I don't like of the people, um, if I have to work, I will just put my feeling aside and then I'll work as a coworker,
Mm.
like really nicely. And I really want people to think about that too, because some people might doesn't some people might hate me or something, and then people be like, oh, I don't want to work with you. I don't want people to be like that. So I feel like if it's work, let's work together. We can do this. And if it's friends, just be nice friends.
Yeah. I like that a lot. That's a
Yeah.
really good takeaway. I think it's also because you obviously come from a professional like
Mm,
performance background, so you
right.
know how to separate that.
Right. Right.
Whereas, a lot of people we dance with are people in our dance community.
Mm.
It's like it usually starts with a bunch of friends
Hmm.
and then it's hard to detach the friendship from the working
Right.
relationship. So it makes sense. So it's like try to when you figure out what you're doing
Hmm.
together and try to keep it professional
Right.
because obviously no one wants to ruin their
Yeah,
friendships.
I don't want to be like
And the
that.
same in the same token, you were saying like, okay, even if you don't like
Yeah.
someone, you can still do work together.
Right.
And I think that's also one thing that I admire about you. We talked about this before,
Hmm.
where it's like you can compartmentalize things about people
Hmm.
in a good way, meaning like
Right.
uh I think we talked about this where it's like not everyone is all good or all bad.
Mm.
Obviously, everyone has
Like
their
half and
shortcomings.
half.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone has their shortcomings, and we can't just judge people as like, oh, this person did something
Right.
bad, so now they're all bad. I can't talk to them
Yeah.
because we all mess up and we all
Hmm.
do bad things,
Yeah.
but
We
doesn't mean you
learn
can't work with
things.
them. And
Yeah.
yeah, you can still work with people and be a
Right.
good person, be respectful,
Hmm.
and like put on a good show or a set or do really good work together.
Hmm.
So I think that makes you more like versatile and like a more valuable person to have on a
Hmm.
team if you can have that mindset
Hmm.
where it's like, don't take things personally and be
Right.
able to separate that.
Yeah. I think it's really important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I
Hmm.
like that a lot. Cool. So let's transition out of that. So now our third topic, which is self-love, spiritual
Hmm.
affirmations, and health and well-being. I know this is one of the things you said you wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So I guess aside from the topic itself, like what
Mhm.
are some of the main philosophies or affirmations that you live by?
Mhm.
Um, yeah, some of the main ones that you live by.
So
Like, what are your main philosophies or affirmations that you use for
oh,
yourself?
okay.
Yeah.
I think I mean, I do meditate recently. Not long time ago.
Mm,
I started again. I feel like talking to yourself is most important things to do, in
mhm.
daily life.
Really quick. So, what
Mhm.
is your meditation like? And is it a talking to yourself sort of meditation, or is those separate?
Um I meditate like two ways. I feel like like basic meditate,
Mhm,
you sit there in a quiet place or maybe like comfortable place and then close my eyes and just be like focusing on my breathing, and whatever comes up, and I accept think whatever thinking or what I'm feeling or everything a feeling, whatever things I'm worried about, like everything, whatever comes up, I kind of take it and let it go with the breathing. If
Mm.
it's like calming down, like calming.
Mhm. Like, calming down your
I don't.
thoughts.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
know what you're saying
yes.
because, like, I've okay, well, so for the audience, right? I think what you're trying to say is, like and I've learned this too, where some people think meditation is, like, trying not to think, but
Right, right,
actually
right,
meditation is accepting those
right.
thoughts and then, like, letting it go, kinda like a river or,
Mm-hmm.
like, letting it like, "Okay, my mind's wandering," or, like, there's, like, a monkey and it's just jumping around.
Right.
It's like, "Okay, okay, I accept the thought and let it go." So it's the
Yes.
practice
Hmm.
or the exercise or, like, the flexing of the muscle of the letting go part.
Right, right.
So it's
Exactly.
always, like,
Yeah.
going back to
Yeah.
that center, and
Mm-hmm.
then, like, I do the same thing too, which
Hmm.
is, like, the breath, because you
Hmm.
just, focusing on, like, the in and out,
Right.
but other people have, like, mantras or they say
Right.
something or stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I used to do mantra when I was in the yoga training,
Mm.
but not anymore because I kind of forget.
Oh,
But I think it's really good. Like whatever fits you, I think it's really important. I think to me, the meditation is like could be just like 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes, like short one, just to see what you were thinking, how you were actually like feeling, wanting or something, like to see like you know what's up, like
mhm.
to talking
Just,
to
like,
my
check in with
body.
yourself.
Yes, and then I feel like because like I said, long time ago, like the anger motivate me, blah blah blah, right? But you don't want to be controlled by your emotion, right? So that's why I feel like it's really important to know what you're thinking and then accepting all this stuff. So
Mm.
that's why I feel like
So
it,
meditation is, like, a way for you to get in touch with yourself and
yes.
also, like, not let your emotions control you, but
Mm-hmm.
be more aware.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I was gonna ask, like,
yeah.
what do you get out of meditation? I know, like, it's the emotional thing, but how do you feel like it's, like, changed you? Or, like, what are the benefits, or how do you feel
I feel like I'm not
as angry, competitive?
yes, I think so. I really think so.
Just letting go of the middle school trauma.
I'm still being like really I don't know I don't know how to say in English.
Say it in Japanese.
切れる?
Oh, yeah.
切れる like
Kiriru.
like easy to get mad,
Okay, yeah.
like that kind of person. I
Mm.
was like that.
Like a trigger emotion, like, very quick
Yeah, like
to
quickly. I mean, like,
mm,
what the fuck,
mhm.
like something like that. I was kind of like, yeah, when I'm mad, it's really quick, and then my attitude and then, like everything is what kind of changed. But then right after, like, I said everything, blah, 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 and I'll be like, calm down.
Mm.
But I was like that long time ago. But I feel like after doing the meditate or like talking to myself, I feel like I'm not mad, like being mad as
Mm.
before.
So it's kinda like controlling your emotions, basically,
Yes.
or, like, calming yourself down.
Right. Cause like there's a reason why you are angry all the time, I feel like. Because it might be because of the person, like something you were said, or maybe worse, or I don't know. But most of the time I feel like the problem was in myself or something. Cause maybe some people will say it's like, oh, you're like ugly or something. And I'll be like, everyone will get offended for sure,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
be like, I know the reason. I know that I'm ugly, but I think hearing from people makes me mad is like I don't know how to say it. Like that was a bad example, but
Mhm.
if I think if you are thinking, if you know the truth of yourself,
Mhm, mhm.
but then if you are denying that thing, and if people are talking about it or like to tell to fix it, you'd be
Mm.
like mad about it. I don't know how to explain.
So you feel like that you know a truth, but then someone is telling you to
Uh-huh.
change or something that it's
Yeah,
different,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh
and
no, no, no. I feel like in your heart, you know that they were saying it right, but that you are denying it
Oh, okay. So it's like denying the truth
yourself.
or denying yourself.
Denying yourself
Mm.
makes it more like matter or like like frustrated. I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
how to say it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. I
sorry.
think I kind of get it. I think it's a universal thing, right? Where it's like someone says something, but then you're kind of like you won't you deny it, and
Right.
it's frustrating. It's
Yeah.
also because what angers us is when expectation is not the same as reality, or
Mm-hmm.
like what we thought was true and it's not true,
Yes.
and that makes us mad.
Yeah. And
So,
also like you are not accepting yourself. So
mm,
that's like you're getting mad, right? So I feel
oh,
like
that's true.
yeah, that's why I feel like you have to think before you're gonna be like mad about it. You have to think if it's their problem or my problem.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
I
right.
feel like that's why like, I take time to think. I feel like in a daily life. I try. I
Yeah,
try.
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, taking
Not
time to
all the
think
time.
sounds like good advice.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
You should think more often, guys.
Right.
So then I guess like I'm assuming you got that from your yoga practice, but like
Right.
what were the main influences for you to like focus on your own mindfulness or like your mental health or mental state or controlling your emotions? Like what influenced you to want to do
Um,
that?
I think I really like myself. I think everyone knows about it. um,
It's an inside joke.
yeah.
Everyone knows that Yuki loves herself.
It's just because like I don't think I'm a cute girl or I don't think I'm like the best or something, but I just like myself.
Mm,
Um,
respect.
thank you.
Everyone should like themselves.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like it's different topic now, but if you don't like yourself, I feel like nobody's gonna like you. So that's why I feel like I try to like you know love myself. And I forgot the topic. What was
No,
it?
yeah, that's fine. No, I like it. We're talking about like self-love and
Right. Oh,
affirmations and
yes.
mindfulness and stuff.
Yes. I got into that emotion because I'm learning essential oil, like aromatherapy,
Mhm,
and then I was really like into the health, like healthcare, like,
mhm, mhm.
and then I realized that every emotion, like whatever is stuck in your mind, makes like cause the problem,
Mhm.
the body issue, like a sickness.
That makes so like it starts with the mind and like the
Yeah,
emotional state, and then it
yeah,
makes you physically sick.
right.
Mm.
Because like I talked to some people who had mentally sick or either physically sick. I think both are I think you've seen like many people, but when I actually like search and also look up the 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 sickness, I don't know,
Like
symptom,
the symptoms,
yeah,
yeah.
symptoms,
Mhm.
um the problem is actually being in your mind, and then also I mean your lifestyle too. But then like in Japanese there's a yamai wa kikara, like the words yamai wa kikara,
Mhm.
meaning is your emotion, oh, your sickness is from
From your
your
emotions.
emotions.
Mm.
Yeah. So there's a word like that. So I was like, it was kind of clicking. I was like, oh, because your mind is not health, that's why everyone's gonna be sick. So that's why I was kind of focusing on yourself before you doing the like medical like
Like treatments or
therapy, or
something, yeah,
yeah, trip,
therapies.
yeah. Before you doing that, I think you should take care of yourself, like the mind, because I think it's true because everyone, because sometimes like you see the people who is like being sick, but then you don't know why.
Mm.
And sometimes it's not food, sometimes it's not like whatever like DNA
External
things.
or yeah,
Yeah, but
genetic.
if you like really look at it, like you couldn't say whatever you wanted to say in behind,
Oh, I
and then
see.
like
It's like something
that's
that they're holding in
yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
repressing.
yeah, because it's actually there's actually like the um examples out there. Like if you really couldn't say how you feel or like how you're thinking,
Like expressing yourself.
yeah. Like if you couldn't do it, this one, what's it called?
Stomach.
No, that's not stomach. When you breathe, it's not
Your your lungs, diaphragm, breath,
diaphragm.
diaphragm.
Yeah, will be like not moving because you're not saying anything. You
Mm.
cannot, and then that makes you like feel like, oh, I can't breathe or something, and then that makes cause more like
More
problems,
issues.
like more
Gotcha.
issues. So
That makes sense.
yeah, I read that, so I was like, oh, emotions first.
Right.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I'm into more like self care.
Yeah. I love that. I
Yeah.
think it makes a lot of sense. Like I'm a believer in everything external that we are, it
Mhm.
starts from our mind, right?
Right,
Like
right.
I see if, you see someone aesthetically, like just on the outside,
Mhm.
like how they dress, how they look,
Right.
how healthy they are, and how much energy they have.
Mhm.
That's all a reflection of their mindsets, of how
Right.
they respect themselves, their own
Mhm.
bodies, how they prioritize their own well being and health.
Right.
So if you see someone who like looks like that, I mean, maybe it's not always a fair general assumption,
Mhm.
but it's like okay, you can tell what someone's mental state is based on how they
Right.
look.
Right.
And if someone like looks like they have everything together, I can assume
Mhm.
that they probably have good mental health.
Right.
So, and yeah, I like that too. It's like obviously we're not doctors, but I agree that there I definitely think there's some truth to that where it's like your mind can create problems in your
Right.
body. So
I think
definitely
so
at
too.
least start with the mind and not like
Right.
medications or
Yeah.
something.
I don't like medication. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I think most
Yeah.
people do or we shouldn't.
Yeah.
So any tips for people that who want to get into like
Mhm.
self-care or mindfulness or like working from the inside out? Like
Mhm.
say someone wants to do that. They're like, "Okay, where do I
Um,
start?"
I think maybe starting meditation is actually hard
Mhm.
because, oh my god, sitting and then closing my eyes, it's actually
Sitting and
really
doing
hard.
nothing is so hard,
It's so
guys.
hard.
Try it for yourself for 20 minutes,
So
5 minutes. It's hard.
what I was doing was like I um have the paper, like a white paper, whatever, nothing, like just paper with the pencil, and I'm just gonna write. Maybe you pick a topic. What I was doing was like what I want to do for my life, or maybe you can be like how am I feeling? Am I good or something? I just pick one topic and then just write it down, and then whatever comes up, just write down everything, and then circle it, and then like connecting to like other stuff. So for me, it's like organizing your brain.
Mm,
So you just have to like let everything go and visibly, like you or whatever you're thinking, like feeling, whatever what you want to do, everything just write it down, and that also inspired me that moment, and then that goes like back and forth, and I feel like that process will help you to think and then know about yourself, because you don't know yourself. I feel like you're the only one. Wait, I don't know how to say it. You don't know yourself. The like I don't know.
I mean, that in
I don't know
itself,
how
you
to
don't know
say it.
yourself. That's a good start.
That's okay. I
Yeah,
know.
you don't know yourself, but I know what you're trying to
Like
say.
yeah.
Like getting to know yourself is important. Like
Yes.
self-awareness
Yes.
and knowing your thoughts and then trying to
Yes.
reflect
Yes.
and think about it so that you know
Because
yourself.
I feel like everyone knows me more than me.
Mm,
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, because I know myself, I feel like, but sometimes what people see and then what I see is different. And then I think people knows about me more than me, because everyone see the different faces of
of course.
me. So you have to kind of also check. Huh, I don't know what I'm saying, but
Like
yeah,
check in,
yeah,
like get
checking,
feedback
yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah,
just
yeah,
keep
feedback
reflecting.
also, yes. But then also like when you want to focus on yourself, you just really have to like be in a moment, think about yourself, what you really have to do or what you really want to do, write it down, organize it, and then that helps. It's like a meditation. I think it's the same thing as a meditation. Feel like, so that's what I was doing when I didn't do like meditation.
Mm.
That makes me actually like really calm, and also like, oh, okay, I know myself. I feel like,
So it's kind of like a journaling sort of
yeah, yeah,
exercise,
yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
a sort of brain mapping and writing
Right,
down your problems.
right.
It's interesting because that's also the number one thing I recommend people
Mm-hmm.
when when we're thinking about something and we have a
Mm-hmm.
problem and we want to talk about it, and
Mm-hmm.
that's good because it helps you organize your thoughts to
Right,
talk. I always recommend like you should start journaling. Like
right.
I've been journaling for the last, I don't know, 15, 20 years.
Nice.
And it's almost like a form of therapy or like you
Right.
said, kind of like meditation
Mm-hmm.
because one, the ultimate goal, I think, purpose is to understand ourselves and to
Mm-hmm.
know ourselves. Because once you know yourself, your compass is oriented and you know which way to
Right.
go. but also like it's a lifelong process. So it
Mhm.
takes a lot of intentional work to
Right.
start to know yourself. So you have to start journaling or meditating or
Mhm.
whatever to know yourself.
Right.
But once you know yourself, like you said, you'll probably be more at peace,
Mhm.
happier, and you can tell like when someone is saying something that's not true and it doesn't affect you as much because you're like, I know the
Right.
truth. I know who I am.
Right.
There's a lot more peace and calmness in
Mhm.
knowing yourself.
Right. I think so. I
Mhm.
really think so.
Yeah, I like that. So journal, guys. I recommend journal, do some brain mapping,
Yes.
meditate.
Meditate.
It is a small step.
Yeah, it's
Like you
really.
said, I say the same thing. Like literally just write whatever you're
Yeah.
thinking. And the act
That's
of
all.
putting it on the paper like takes it off your brain and it organizes it.
Mhm.
And for me, that helps out a lot.
Right. Me
I
too.
guess yeah, it gets to the point where like some people are like, oh, so how did that thing go that you were worried about? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm totally over it now because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
journaled like 3 times about it, and now I can talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Anything else on mindfulness before we change topics?
Um, just get away from social network.
Oh my
I mean, I
gosh.
do that. I mean,
Yes.
I post
Yeah.
TikTok,
Yeah. Yeah.
YouTube, and Instagram,
Just like
everything. I do that, but I think it's bad because
yeah.
I think it's taking my time, and also like I'm looking at my people's like post and it'd be like, "Oh, everyone's like having fun and not me," or like maybe like, oh, everyone's doing great things but not me. But I feel like everyone's of course looking good because they're capturing like the
Yeah, and
best part.
they're curating it. There's the
Yeah.
highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good to have it because you want to make more like social like business wise whatever. I don't
Right.
know.
Like
You can
network
use it.
connections and
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
platform to put artistry and stuff
Right.
like that. Yeah.
Right. But also,
There's a dark
yeah,
side to it. It's the
I'm kind of addicted right now,
yeah.
but I feel like that's why I feel like I'm like sometimes like depressed. So that's why I feel like trying to get away from there and try to focusing on my like journaling or maybe meditation or maybe workout or whatever. Like
Anything else
yeah,
more
anything
than
else.
social
Yeah.
media,
Yeah.
honestly.
Like being being in a moment is really important. Being like yourself and also in a like healthcare
Mhm.
like wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think for my own life, if there's one thing I can change, it's never having to be on social media.
Mm.
Like so many times I want to delete Instagram. I'm not on
Right.
TikTok anymore. Like, but unfortunately, a lot of our friends like we use Instagram as messaging, so it's to
Mhm, right.
connect. So it's like
Right.
now I have it, and even if I delete it, I have to re like download it because I need
Mhm.
to talk to people.
Right.
But yeah, I agree. I wish I
Yeah.
could just disconnect from
I
it.
know.
But it is a platform for creators like
Yeah,
us that like
it
putting out good
is.
work and to inspire people and whatnot and to do
Yeah.
positive things, but there's a dark side to that.
Yeah.
Cool. Ready for rapid fire questions to wrap it
Yes.
up? All right. So this is the billboard question. It
Okay.
is if you could put up a sign for millions of people to see, what would it say? Could be
Be in the moment,
be in the
I
moment.
guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. It's a
Love
good one.
yourself.
Right on theme. What is your favorite failure or something challenging that you learned from besides your middle school
I know. I was
rejection?
like
Yeah.
thinking about it. The failure?
Something that like, it wasn't the outcome you wanted, but it set you up to for success later.
Skip that
We can
one.
skip.
Yeah, I'll think about
It's
it.
okay. If you could give your younger self advice, what would it be now? Any age.
um, do journaling every day.
Do journaling every day.
Yes.
Nice. I
Yeah.
probably would do the same
Yeah.
thing. Like if you start early and
I
you
know.
do it
It's
often, you'll
better.
be
Yeah.
you'll be so much
I know.
happier.
I was like, I should
Yeah. It's okay. Start now, right?
have.
Any habits or routines that are key to getting the results that you have?
um, one more time.
Like any habits or routines that you love doing that make you happy, keep you
Um,
sane.
I think I really love teaching yoga,
Mm.
and I love using essential oil. So I really love the morning yoga classes.
Mm.
Like daily.
What do you like about teaching yoga? Is it just like being in that space, or is it the actual act of teaching someone else? Or
Being in a place too, but after I teach yoga, like after I teach yoga, I feel really good. Like you can imagine it's really different like how you're feeling, and I everyone's connected. I feel like in the moment. So that's why I feel like I love that,
mm,
habit. Yeah,
it's like a
like
very
a
like
routine.
spiritual experience, and it feels really
Yeah.
good, and it
Yeah.
feels like like right. Like
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah,
like
I'd be like,
you don't need
have a
drugs or
good
anything
time.
for
Yeah.
it. It's just like like a nice thing.
Yeah.
That's one of the things for me personally that I want to do. Like the habits, it's like,
Hmm.
working out and journaling and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yoga is the thing that is like on my list of like my
Hmm.
top 7 things I want to do forever.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm not
Me
into it yet.
too.
Might solve my
You will
lower
be.
back problems. Who would you call successful? So if anyone comes to mind, you're like, oh, I think this person is successful. And
Mm.
then how do you define success?
It's actually hard because I've been thinking about it actually.
Mm,
You know, every time I see numbers, I used to be like watching numbers, million followers.
mm,
But I feel like if you like your what you're doing, like if you feel happiness from your like work, I think it's a success. I feel like.
So feeling happy from what you do
Yeah.
and like enjoying the work and the
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anyone who comes to mind that you know personally, or maybe like someone you don't know that might be famous or something that you
Um
think might be successful that we can point to as an example?
I'm actually not sure.
Mm.
I I'm the person who doesn't have bias, like specific bias. I mean, I do have one, but
Like you're
it's
talking about like
hard
a
to
celebrity
say.
bias.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyone that you know personally that you feel like, oh, I think this person's successful, like my friend or family member or something like
Oh.
that. She's like, no. She's like myself.
No. Maybe it's you,
Maybe
feel
you,
like?
you,
Oh, no,
you
me.
love
Not me. I
yourself.
mean, I love myself, but I feel like I don't have a goal
Mm.
because I didn't set a goal for this year, and I feel like burnout. I'm
I
burnout,
see. I see.
and I actually was really doing my journaling recently more because I kind of lost myself. I feel like so that's why I was like, it was hard to think about topic too because I was like, oh my god, it's not my like perfect time. It's like worst time like in a
You're like, I'm
life.
not in a good space right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what to talk about.
But yeah, I feel like everyone who's having fun,
Right.
yeah, it
Wait, so
looks
do you think I'm having
successful.
fun?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
why?
yeah.
Okay.
And also like you're doing like new things
Yeah.
and then it's really good because I really want to do something new
Mm.
and do that, but I'm being too lazy recently.
Oh,
So I really am like think you're doing great.
oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's like I think, like you said, people should try new things and do
Mhm.
things that they want to do or they're interested in.
Mhm.
So I try to be like, okay, well, why don't I just be an example? Like, just
Right.
do what I want to do. But I'm also just as lazy and
Mhm.
I'm just on social media just as much, if not more. Like I said, I want to delete it so bad, but I can't.
Me too.
But thank you. If time and money weren't an obstacle, what would you be doing now?
Obstacle.
So, like, if you had unlimited time and money,
Uh-huh.
what would you be doing?
Oh, traveling.
Oh, of course. Where would you
Yes.
travel?
Don't say Japan.
Don't say
I know I
Japan.
haven't been Japan, so I would say Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu?
Oh,
Why?
I love Machu Picchu. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It's more like
You've been there before? No.
no.
Oh, okay. So you just like, oh, it looks really
I
pretty.
yeah, I really like the look. I wanted to go there. I've been wanting to go there like since like middle school.
Yeah.
I saw the photo and then it looked I don't know, unreal or something.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Surreal. I don't know.
You want to like ride an alpaca or something? Like, is that what they do? They
I
ride
don't
those? They
know
ride. I feel like they ride something. They ride up
actually.
the hill. If not, they carry
Yeah,
themselves.
I really want to go.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like I want to go to like more closer to nature, not the
Mm,
city. I feel like the crowd makes me a little bit sick.
yeah.
I mean, I like theme park, so
Right,
I
right.
would go to theme
So
park.
theme park and then
Yes,
nature.
and nature.
Nice. Or a
Yes,
theme park in nature.
yes.
Yeah, I like it. I think I'm the same. How do you spend most of your time? I mean, I do a lot of
I
things.
mean, when I'm off, I feel like I'm reading manga.
Oh, what manga are you reading?
I'm reading One Piece.
Yes.
Yes. The Shonen Jumpu app. They have a
Mm,
lot of like manga.
mm,
I really like Chainsaw Man,
mm,
Dan Da Dan, which is new one.
mm.
Um, and then Oshinoko,
Oh,
like
Shinoko, it's on my
everything.
list.
I really love it.
Nice. I think you're
Yeah.
Japanese.
Yeah, I think I'm Japanese.
Yeah. Shout out One Piece. Oh my God, I love that so much. So how do quick tangent. So sometimes we make fun of Saki because she doesn't watch One Piece. And I'm like, Saki, you're not Japanese. And she's
Yeah,
like, I'm
I'm
Filipino.
Filipino.
So she thinks she's half Filipino, half Japanese because she dances. So
Right.
Yeah. But anyways, so on that note, favorite books, movies, videos, or articles that you share or recommend the most. So like media or anything.
Oh. I like um I don't know the title in English actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I only read
What is
Japanese
it
because I don't
Japanese?
like reading. Um
It's a manga.
no, it's actually like a book.
What's a book?
I don't know what's it called. It's not novel. It's like
What's like
I
the
don't know what's the category,
okay?
but it's a Japanese letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, reading it,
Oh.
and it's called Can I
Yeah,
look
yeah.
up right
No,
now?
you can send it to me later.
Okay,
I'll put it in
yeah.
the notes. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the
It's
book that Yuki is
this. It's
referring
this.
to, it's this
Because
book.
yeah, if you translate be like, "Oh, I
Yeah, yeah,
understand."
yeah.
Yeah, I think you would like it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll put that in the
Yeah.
notes. Okay, all right. So we're at the end. So ending questions. I always like to end with gratitude. So Yuki, what are you grateful for?
Sorry, I was not paying
She was
attention.
like, "Oh, we're done. What are you
And I was thinking,
what are you grateful for, Yuki? Gratitude.
oh,
Yeah.
yes. Having a relationship with everyone, like being in good friends,
Mm,
and I'm happy that I have you as a friend as well, and I really appreciate it for whatever happens in my life.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking of words. I don't know if it sounds right.
Just for the things that are happening in your life or the
Yeah,
things that will
yeah.
happen.
Yes. Whatever he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, what he said. No, that's good. You're pretty much everything. Do you have any final ask for the audience? So like asking them for something or any final like takeaways or lessons you want them to have from our conversation?
Um, Love yourself. I feel
Nice.
like
Love yourself as much as Yuki
yeah,
loves herself.
it's not that thing like being like shy about. I feel
Mm,
like
mm.
you can love yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. We make fun of her about it, but honestly, like that's the right thing to
Yeah,
do.
right.
You should love yourself. All right. So where can we find you? Like social media, websites, email, anything? Like if people want to like see what you're up to or reach out.
You can DM me the
Instagram.
Instagram,
Yeah.
Yukingram. I think it's the easiest way
Mhm.
to connect. And if you want to check out my TikTok, that's gonna be same thing. And for the YouTube, I have it as Odoru Yogini,
Mhm.
which means dancing yogini.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
if you come to Instagram, you can know everything about me.
Nice. Yeah. And we have all of our socials will be linked in the show notes. So, all right. Well, that is it. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Yuki.
so
Thank you for
much.
being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And then so yeah, so for the audience, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Just a reminder to always be kind to other people and especially yourself. And remember that you can always learn something from someone. You just have to take the time to listen. So thank you guys for tuning in.